A soothsayer warned, "Beware the Ides of March." Caesar didn't listen, and on this day, March 15th, 44 BCE, he entered the Senate and met his demise. Friends and allies surrounded him. Then Brutus and Cassius and dozens more stabbed him 23 times. The conspirators believed they were saving the Roman Republic from tyranny, but instead they plunged Rome into civil wars that would last for decades and end with Caesar's adopted son Octavian, later known as Augustus, taking power and establishing the empire. So today, we're gonna let the historians duke it out over whether Caesar was a benevolent dictator or a tyrant, and whether his assassination was a heroic act of defiance or a cowardly one. I'm just gonna point out that when Caesar was killed, there was no ambulance to take him to the hospital. So even if the guy who stabbed him meant to save his life, it's highly unlikely that he would have survived. I also can't help but notice that a bunch of dudes in togas are fighting over who gets to be in charge while everyone around them is getting murdered. And at the end of the day, the guy who stabbed Caesar, Brutus, ends up on the losing side of the civil war that follows. But you know what? To quote Shakespeare, "The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves." Okay, that's not exactly what Shakespeare wrote, but you get the point. Rome wasn't the only power to fall this way. In 1918, the Russian monarchy met its end when a revolutionary tribunal sentenced Nicholas II, his wife Alexandra, and their kids to death. Then the Bolsheviks took over Russia, and the Romanov dynasty ended after 300 years. But you know what? Nicholas probably wouldn't have been overthrown if he'd held on to power a little tighter. Same with Caesar. His assassination didn't kill tyranny. It birthed it. When daggers fall, history reshapes. Subscribe now to see how.